paint you a picture. It's Sunday night, you open your Instagram with every intention of planning your content for the week, and you stare at a blank caption box. Nothing. You scroll for 15 minutes looking for inspiration, and now you feel behind, overwhelmed, and you haven't posted anything yet. So you close your app and you tell yourself you're going to do it tomorrow. Does that sound familiar? That right there is not a motivation problem. That is a systems problem, and today I am handing you the system. Hi, I'm Allison with the Couple Group, and we are the Next Level Agent program. The Next Level Agent program helps agents just like yourself who have found this video how to become the next level version of you, yourself, and your business. I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you further. As always, drop a comment with the cities that you service and how long you've been in the business. I look forward to chatting with you soon. I read every single one of my comments. I hope you find this content valuable. And if you do and you keep coming back, please hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every time we make a new video. It really helps the channel. It really helps you make sure that you don't miss any of the content and the value that we're putting out here for you. So stay tuned because there's some really cool stuff that we're going over in this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to run a 5-post weekly plan as a real estate agent, and not just what to post, but how to come up with the ideas, when and how to record your content, and how to store it so that you never lose a good idea again. I want to show you how to batch and schedule your week so it runs on autopilot, and how to write captions that actually get people to respond. This video is the full behind the scenes workflow. And by the end of it, you'll have everything you need to fill your feed for the next 30 days without burning out. Let's go. Before I get into the actual workflow, I need you to make one mental shift, because this one thing really changes everything. I need you to stop trying to think like a content creator. You're not a content creator. You are a real estate agent who creates content. That distinctions matter more than you know. Content creators sit down and try and think of something interesting to say. Real estate agents, you're already living interesting things every single day. Every showing is a story. Every question a client asks is a post opportunity. Every negotiation has a lesson inside of it, and every closing is a moment worth sharing. You're not running out of content. You're running out of a way to actually capture it. And that's what we're fixing here today. So the content is already happening. We just need to build a system around it. The biggest content killer is not laziness, it's actually forgetfulness. You have a great idea in the car after a showing and you think, oh, I'll remember that. And it's gone by the time that you get home. So here's what I want you to start doing today instead. Go ahead and open up the Notes app on your phone right now. Right now. Create a note called Content Bank. That's it. Every time something happens during your week that feels interesting, a client question, a funny moment on a showing, a market stat that was surprising, a mistake that you made and you learned from it, maybe do that like a year later, you type 3 words into that note. You do not have to write down the whole post, just enough to really remember the idea. Here's what goes into your content bank. Questions client asked you this week. Every single one of those is a post. Things you wish buyers knew before they started looking. Things sellers do that hurt their own home sale. What about a moment that at closing that made you or the clients emotional? How about that neighborhood that you drove through and thought people need to know about this place? And then there's always the myths that you hear constantly that just drive you crazy. I also want you to use your own voice memo app. And when you're in the car between showings and an idea hits you, I don't want you to type. You can talk it. Voice memo, 2 sentences, save it. Those voice memos become your most authentic post because the energy you have in the moment is in your actual voice, and you can pull that exact language straight into your caption later. Do this for the next week, and I promise you your content bank will have more ideas than you can post in a single month. Now, stay with me through step 3 because that's where I walk you through my actual batching session, the one afternoon a week that replaces the daily panic. And I'm going to show you exactly how it runs from start to finish, including what I do with B-roll and how I film everything in as little time as possible. You absolutely do not want to skip that. Okay, let's talk about recording, because this is where most agents get frozen. They think they need a ring light and a camera setup and a quiet room and good hair, and no. You absolutely do not. Your phone is a television studio. Let's use it like one. The best time to record is not when everything is perfect. The best time to record is when something is happening. You just finished a showing and you're still in the driveway. Why don't you film a 30-second talk on something interesting about the house or the neighborhood or what the client said? Maybe you're sitting in the parking lot before a listing appointment. Film a 30-second tip about how your sellers can prepare. You're driving between appointments this time around. Do that voice memo. Hey Siri, start up a voice memo. Don't film while driving, but just talk out loud. Let's talk about B-roll, because B-roll is what makes your content look polished without any extra actual effort. B-roll is just background footage where you're walking into a house, your hand on a door handle, the view from a listing. What about the neighboring street, signing paperwork, your laptop's open at your desk? You want to collect this constantly, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Every time you're at a property, even if you don't post about it, film 10 to 15 seconds of something interesting. The kitchen, the backyard, the entryway. You don't need to narrate it or do anything. Just film it. Save it to a dedicated folder in your phone called B-roll, or use an app for like Google Photos or whatever. A labeled album is what I'm getting after. And over time, you'll build a library of footage that makes any video you look like you hired a production team. When in all reality, you really just pointed your phone at things as you were walking past them and you saved it. For the talking head style videos, where it's just you speaking to the camera, find one good consistent spot. Good natural light from a window, a clean background or a background that shows your brand. Same spot every time. Why? Because consistency does train your audience. They start to recognize your setup and it feels familiar. And that familiarity builds trust faster than any filter. So for instance, you're going to see me here in my car and in my office. But for the love of everything, film horizontal if you're posting on YouTube or Facebook, and vertical if you're going on Instagram Reels or TikTok. Film both of them if you're not sure. You can rotate the phone. It takes 2 seconds. Save you an entire reshoot process whenever it's not in the right format later. This is the step I promised you, and you're going to be glad you waited. The batching session. This is one afternoon a week that makes everything else possible, and once you do it, you will never go back to posting day by day. So go ahead and take a look at your calendar. And pick your day. For a lot of agents, it's Sunday afternoon or Thursday evening or Monday morning. Whatever day your schedule has a natural gap, I want you to block out 2 hours, and that's your content time. Here's exactly how you need to set up and make those hours run. So this is an extra point about what we just talked about when it comes to recording and generating the content. You have the content pillars from my previous video. Put those as categories in your phone notes app. That way you can say, all right, I got a market update idea. All right, I've got a community idea. All right, I've got an educational idea. And then you'll know that you can pull from each one of those categories on your Monday 30-minute planning session. And then all you gotta do is highlight, I'm gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pretty easy. For the first 30 minutes, I want you to open your content bank and pick out 5 ideas, one for each day of the week. You already know the framework, where Monday is market focus, Tuesday is personal, Wednesday's community, Thursday's educational, and Friday is social proof. Match an idea from your bank to each of those slots. Done. The next 30 minutes, film all of your talking head content back to back to back. Same spot, good lighting. You're not editing anything yet. You're just getting footage. Film each piece 2 or 3 times if you need to. Don't try to be perfect. Try to be done. A 60-second video can take about 5 minutes total to film when you actually stop overthinking it. In the next 30 minutes, I want you to write all 5 captions using the formula I teach. Hook, value, call to action. If you're stuck on a hook, go back to your voice memo from the week. Your exact words in that memo are often better than anything you would write sitting at a desk. Then I want you to take that energy, and if you're still stuck, or if you still just can't quite figure out exactly how to do it, I want you to go to ChatGPT or Claude, and I want you to type in, hi, you're a social media expert for a real estate agent professional in my city, town, state, whatever. You're gonna ask ChatGPT or Claude to write you out the hook, value, and call to action for that video topic so that it's already in there too. And then it can go ahead and polish it up for you, copy paste to a teleprompter app, and you're ready to go. For the last 30 minutes, it's editing, exporting, and scheduling. For editing, I want to keep this super simple. You're going to first prioritize using the editing tool in the platform that you're posting on. If you want a little bit of an advancement, you can go ahead and throw in CapCut in there. And what that's going to do is give you a few more editing options and then a couple of auto post to different platform features. Don't overcomplicate the editing, but you can add in a little bit of B-roll and a little bit of overlay and a little bit of green screen if you really want to. And then you're going to upload directly to the platform that you're posting on. And there are scheduling tools that you can leverage if you want. But again, don't overcomplicate it. Just start by doing. And that's it. 2 hours, 5 posts, 1 week, that's the system. Now let's talk captions. Because the caption is where most agents lose people even when the video formula is phenomenal. So here's the formula, and it's 3 parts: hook, value, call to action. That's it. Every caption you write for the rest of your career fits into those 3 things. The hook is the first line, and it's the one that's the most important. On most platforms, only the first 1 or 2 lines show before the viewer has to tap more, like see more. And the first line has to make them want to actually tap it. So it really needs to be a question, a bold statement, or a pattern interrupt, something that they didn't expect that will stop the scroll. Not happy Monday, here's what's happening in Northern Kentucky. I'm Allison Coughlin with the Caldwell Group, bringing you a Northern Kentucky update. That's an absolute snore. Instead, everything is pending before you can even schedule a showing, and here's why. Here's what to do about it. How about, I had a client tell me yesterday that they gave up on buying a house this year, and this is what I told them. What about, I don't know if he needs to hear this, but because phrasing drops little crumbs and then they want to keep picking those up. The value section is the body of the caption. So this is where you deliver. You're specific, you're human, and you write the way that you actually communicate, because your voice is your brand. And a caption that sounds like it came from a corporate template is not building you any relationship. But if you would not say it out loud to a client sitting across the table, you probably just shouldn't type that out. The call to action. This is where most agents just stop writing and miss a massive opportunity. Every single post should end with one specific ask, not 3, 1. Drop a comment and tell me your biggest question about home buying in this market. DM me the word home and I'll send you the home buyer's guide. Tag someone who needs to hear this. Save this for when you're ready to start looking. Without the ask, there is no action. 1 hook, 1 value, 1 ask every single time. And when you write it that way, your captions start working for you literally while you're sleeping. I want to give you the rules that I live by to keep this sustainable, because even with the best system in the world, there are weeks where life happens and you get behind. And here's how to handle it without absolutely spiraling. Number 1, if your week falls apart and you can only get 3 posts up instead of 5, who freaking cares? Do not skip the whole week because it wasn't perfect. Momentum is worth more than perfection, and 1 missed week can easily turn into 1 missed month if you let the all or nothing mindset take over. I want you to think about it this way. You can repurpose without guilt. That market update you posted 3 months ago, if the data is still relevant, repost it with a fresh caption. The educational tip that you got great engagement 6 weeks ago that everybody keeps asking you, you can fill a new version of it. You're not cheating, it's your content. You're being smart. The people who need to see the content may have not seen it yet, and new followers show up every single week. I want you to keep a swipe file. Every time you see a post from an industry leader that makes you stop and think, oh, that was good, screenshot it, save it to the album on your phone called swipe file. Don't copy it, but I want you to understand why it worked. What was the hook, the image, the specific way that they phrased something? Study it. Over time, your swipe file becomes your creative coach, available at 2 a.m. when you're staring at a blank screen and you didn't do my planning tool. Rule number 4 is the big one. Engage every time you post. When you sit down to publish something, I want you to spend 5 minutes before and after responding to comments, replying to DMs, leaving genuine comments on other accounts, like 3 to 10 other accounts. The algorithm rewards accounts who engage, and more importantly, real relationships are built in the comments, not in the captions. This is extremely crucial, especially whenever we start talking about where you want your business to come from. Learning how to actively engage your audience, connect with them on social, live time in their comment section and in their DMs at the time that you are posting is the number 1 way to get your social media to actually convert to leads. You don't have to be online all day long. You just have to be intentional for 5 to 15 minutes before and after you hit publish. That is the difference between an account that grows and one that stalls. Let's just land the plane. So here's what I want you to walk out and have from this video. And I want you to do this right now. Number 1, create your content bank. Note it on your phone right now before you close this video. Number 2, pick your batching day this week and put it on your calendar as a blocked appointment and treat it like a listing appointment. It is not optional. Number 3, download the free social media starter guide in the description below. It has the full 5-pillar content framework, the weekly posting plan, the caption formula, and a 30-day challenge that maps out every single post prompt, so you never start from zero. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your biggest content roadblock right now? Was it the ideas or the filming, the consistency? I really want you to tell me, because your answer might be the next video that I make. You already have everything that you need to show up. You just need the system to organize it And now that you come to the end of the video, you've figured that out. Thank you so much for watching The Next Level Agent. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please, again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Drop the cities that you work in. We love to create an agent community who involves themselves with one another. Thanks so much for watching.